There's a kind of emptiness that doesn't come from a lack of things, but from a lack of connection to yourself, and it's the kind of emptiness no amount of good ever fills. Imagine this. You wake up on a morning that should feel like a win. Nothing is wrong. In fact, everything is technically fine. The bills are paid, the people in your life are stable, and the responsibilities are under control. You have what you once prayed for. And yet, as you sit on the edge of your bed, staring at the floor, there's a heaviness that doesn't match your life. A quiet hollowness that makes you wonder, why do I feel like something is missing, even though nothing is missing? You smile at people, you handle your tasks, you say, I'm good automatically, but internally, it feels like your emotions are stuck behind soundproof glass. You can see your life, but you can't quite feel it. This experience is more common than we talk about, and it doesn't mean you're ungrateful, broken, or dramatic. It usually means one thing. Your emotional brain has been running on survival mode for so long that when things finally calm down, it doesn't know how to switch back to living. The prefrontal cortex, the logical planning part of the brain, tells you, life is good. You should be fine. But your limbic system, the emotional center, responds with silence. When the brain gets used to operating under chronic stress, emotional shutdown can feel safer than emotional presence. It's the mind's version of saying, we survived by staying numb. Let's keep doing that. But numbness isn't peace. It's unprocessed pain that froze instead of healing. Many people who grew up managing chaos, perfectionism, emotional neglect, or constant pressure learn to disconnect from their inner world because feeling was once too overwhelming or unsafe. So even when life becomes stable, the brain doesn't automatically update. You've upgraded your life, but not your emotional operating system. And that's why emptiness can show up in a life that looks fortunate from the outside. The brain is simply running an old survival script. You can't feel fullness if your emotional wiring still thinks you need to stay small, quiet, or invisible to stay safe. And here's where the story deepens. Because emptiness isn't actually a void. It's a message, a whisper from within, asking you to come back home to yourself. Think about how long you've been functioning instead of feeling. How long you've been performing being okay. How long you've prioritized being useful, responsible, and strong over being real. Emptiness comes when your outer life expands, but your inner life remains unheard. It's the space between who you are and who you've been pretending to be. It's the echo of emotions you never had time or permission to process. It's the fatigue of carrying versions of yourself that helped you survive, but don't help you live. And it's not your fault. The brain protects first. Healing comes later. But here's the part most people don't realize. Emptiness shows up not because you've failed, but because you're finally safe enough for your mind to start asking deeper questions. When your nervous system isn't fighting fires anymore, it starts noticing the parts of you that haven't been touched in years. The bored parts, the lonely parts, the parts grieving what you never had, the parts unsure of who you are when you're not struggling. That discomfort, that hollowness, it's not the end of you. It's the beginning. The emotional brain uses quiet moments to bring up unprocessed feelings. It's how healing starts. Softly, sometimes confusingly, often inconveniently. And if your life is good, emotional emptiness doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means your soul is asking for meaning, not maintenance. Connection, not completion. Expression, not perfection. Most people try to fix emptiness with productivity, achievements, new goals, new relationships, new routines. But emptiness doesn't respond to more. It responds to honesty, to curiosity, to the gentle, patient question. What part of me have I been ignoring? Maybe you've been successful but disconnected. Maybe you've been loved but unseen. Maybe you've been busy but emotionally starved. Maybe you've been surrounded by people but deeply alone. Or maybe you've been in survival mode so long that peace feels unfamiliar. Whatever your story, emptiness is not a flaw. It's an invitation. A doorway into the self you've abandoned to function. It's your brain telling you, I'm ready for you now. So, if your life looks good but you feel empty inside, don't shame yourself. Don't rush yourself. And don't assume something is wrong with you. Something is speaking to you. You are not broken, you're unfolding. You're noticing the quiet truths you were finally strong enough to hear. Let this video guide you toward understanding your mind the way it deserves to be understood. And if this helped you feel seen, stay with this channel. Keep learning, keep healing, keep building emotional resilience one insight at a time. Because emptiness isn't the end of your story. It's where your real story starts.